Yeah, so we have a longer year this year. So we can start the next one.
Yeah.
So for our region, the biggest achievement in 2024 was one of our champion speaker who won DTAC championship last year was selected to go for the World Championship contest in Anaheim, California. So we are overwhelmed to have him as our guest today. To introduce this speaker, I will now introduce another champion speaker from our own club. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Mohammad Rafi to introduce the guest speaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am truly honored to bring in front of you an individual, an exceptional individual whose achievements has left an indelible mark on the world of public speaking and beyond. That Toastmaster is being present among us. Let's welcome him with a big round of applause. As an IT professional and a dedicated Toastmaster for last 10 years, his achievements speaks about what Hashim Haleem is in front of us. If I speak about his achievement and awards, the list is quite long. A dedicated, passionate Toastmaster who has made a mark, presents himself in the World Championship of Public Speaking in the year 2024 as a semi-finalist. His unwavering commitment, hard work, perseverance, resilience has made what Hashim Haleem is today. 15 years back, when I joined Toastmaster, there was no Hashim Haleem. 4 years back, Hashim Haleem was top. I remember an incident that was in Emirates Auditorium. There was a division contest going on, and from Lagoon, our champion Natraj was there. Corner of the Emirates Auditorium, someone, Hashim, Hashim, Hashim. It was crowd was yelling Hashim. I was saying, who is this Hashim? It was 10 years back, and today he has reached the highest echelons in the Toastmasters public speaking. Hashim Haleem is not just as a Toastmaster, but as a person. He has changed many people's lives. One person is standing right in front of you. The top secret I'm going to reveal today. All my winning speeches, right from club level, area level, division level, whatever I have won, it's because of this gentleman. Under his dedication, his commitment is unwavering. I have no words. When I say, Hashim, I need your guidance, he said, come Rafi. During online time, 24, he was calling me, where are you? It's time, come. That was a commitment of a mentor. If there is any example of mentor, it's here, Hashim. I can speak for hours and hours. Congratulations for you, Hashim, and wish you more and more on your journey. If you need any guidance, Toastmasters, just call Hashim. He is there. Today, he is going to bring in front of us an educational session on how to craft a winning speech. Take it very keenly, understand each and everything. It's going to help you in leaps and bounds. Once again, Hashim, welcome on the stage. I wish some
somebody has recorded that introduction. Is that perfect? Absolutely. Lovely. Thank you so much.
We'll send to your wife.
Yeah. She should know as well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lagoon Toastmasters, for having me over. And I'm going to talk to you today about crafting your winning speech. Now, during the break, I was having a chat with my friend over here, and he was telling me that the biggest trouble he has is deciding what to speak about. Is that a common query that you all have? How should we choose a topic? Alright, so, I was thinking what to start with, and then my eyes fell on our general evaluator. I mean, you all know her as the master chef, right? She's written books and presented at the Sharjah book fair. So I would like to talk about my cooking in front of her and probably get her feedback. So the story goes like this. It was a couple of years back during Eid time, right? So I wanted to try something new. I was motivated. I was binge watching on Les Brown videos on YouTube. He tells you to be hungry and go learn and all, right? So that's fine. I'm going to go and cook. I'm going to learn how to cook biryani. That's it. Fine. I told my wife, you move out. I will cook today. I didn't know how to cook biryani. So I did what any strong, independent individual will do, right? I phoned up my mother and I asked her, give me the recipe of biryani. She told all the ingredients. I bought everything that she said exactly like she said I made the biryani. I was really proud of myself. But I wasn't brave enough to try it on my wife. So I invited 5 of my friends over for Eid that day. Oh yeah, I dressed it up really nice, presented in a beautiful dish. Those 5 gullible souls, they innocently devoured that biryani. 3 of them are not my friends anymore. The other 2 became vegetarians. But that's the thing. There is a story for every moment of our lives. For anything that you remember, there is a story behind it. If there was no story, you wouldn't remember it. You would have forgotten it by now. Right? So look into your life. Find those moments that you remember. And your topic will find you. You don't need to sit and worry, what should I speak about? What are people going to like? Look inside. Just remember. And what comes to your mind? Write down those stories, develop it, and you'll find your apt topic. The one thing we need to understand when we speak to anybody, forget about whether it's a 7-minute speech, a 20-minute speech, or a 2-minute conversation. If you don't have something of value for people, nobody will listen to you. Right? So first answer the question, what's in it for them? If you're going to speak something to the audience, what are they going to get out of it? Is it just entertainment? Or is there some inspiration in it? Or is there some kind of motivation, persuasion, or some information that you're going to share with them? What's the value that you're adding to your audience? And in most cases, that value is the message that you're giving. So where do we find these messages? I told you that the messages come from some stories, right, in your life. Let me tell you a little story, and you guys can tell me if you really like it or not. Okay? So, once upon a time, in a land far, far away, because that's how everybody tells a story, right? So, once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a beautiful little house, which had a beautiful garden and a nice river near it. And in that house, there lived a man and a woman. No, they were not deaf or blind. It was a man and a woman. They had 2 little children and a small, tiny dog. Behind that house, there was gorgeous mountains. The sky was blue, the weather was great, the flowers were blooming, the birds were chirping. It was a glorious day. The end. How was that story? Was not good? Little anticlimactic. That was the most boring story I've heard in my life. Something has to go wrong. If nothing goes wrong, there's no story. Right? Something has to go wrong. I don't know, maybe the wind blew the roof of that house, or the river overflooded, or they had no internet that day. Something has to go wrong. If nothing goes wrong, there's no story. If there's no challenge, there's no story. It's, if there's no masala, there's no biryani. It's just like that. Have you faced any challenges in your life? No? You face challenges today? Yeah, maybe you face challenges on the way here. You couldn't find parking, you forgot your phone, you had to go back and get it. Or there's a shopping list that has come on your WhatsApp right now that you should be reading instead of listening to me. Yeah, we all have challenges. And from that challenge comes your story. Because I guarantee you one thing. You can speak to any room of people in the world. There will be at least one person who's going through or has gone through the same challenge that you have. And that's your audience. Right? So look into your life and find those challenges. Remember one thing. From your mess comes your message. From your mess comes your message. So look into your life, find those moments where it was the most difficult. And talk about how you came out of it. We don't have to stay in the gloom. You came out of the gloom, right? And the way you came out is the way that somebody else can come out. And that's how you add value with the message. Because you learned something there, right? Those were tough times for us. But we all overcame it. And we learned something from it. At least we are not repeating the same mistakes we did before. And we are a little better for it. And when you share that, that's adding value to your audience. So I'm going to give you a very tough choice right now. Okay? This is probably one of the most difficult choices you have ever had to make. If you had a choice between biryani and chocolate cake, what would you choose?
Both.
Okay, let's see biryani lovers in the house. Yeah, I see two. A lot of diet conscious people I see. Okay, what about chocolate cake lovers in the house?
Not diet
same
conscious.
the diet has gone for a toss now. Pro diabetes. Well, at least you don't have to make this many tough choices in your speech. But I want you to focus on something that is common between both biryani and chocolate cake. Taste, yeah. They say that what is tasty is not good for you, right? Or rather, what is good for you will never be tasty. Other than taste, one thing that both chocolate cake, biryani and chocolate cake do for you?
Happiness.
Happiness, yeah. Pleasure. They both make you fat. That's what you want your audience to feel. You want your audience to feel happy, pleasured. You want to make them fat with your speech. And by fat, I mean feel, act, and think. What do you want your audience to feel? What are the emotions that you want them to experience through your story? What actions do you want them to take after listening to your story? And what is that thought you want to put into their head once your speech is gone and they are back to their normal lives? I'll give you a small example. Typical story. Okay? You grew up at home. Your grandma was your best friend. You loved spending time with her. It was great growing up. You got a job. You came to the Middle East. COVID struck. You couldn't go back. Okay, grandma's no more now. Now you miss her. And you've learned some lesson. You wish you could go back, but you can't. So you've learned the lesson that you need to spend time with your loved ones. This is simple story. What would you want your audience to feel? The emotion of love, of missing someone, of wishing they were there. What action would you want them to take? Maybe you want them to phone up their parents right after your speech. Or plan a trip to see somebody who they haven't seen in a long time before. Yeah?
I will keep going.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. What thought do you want to leave with? Maybe that from today, their priority should be to spend time with their loved ones. That's more important than probably spending extra hours at work or something. So you decide these things, the emotions that you want to share with your audience, what you want them to feel, the actions, the steps that you want them to take. and the thought that you want to leave your audience with. You do this before you write your story, right? Because this decides which stories, which quotations, which characters come into your speech, right? I've touched a lot about stories, and the reason for that is everybody loves a good story, right? Everybody loves a good story. That's why we still watch movies, 2.5 hours long. We sit there glued and watching. You all remember listening to those stories when we were kids? Yeah, all our cousins sitting around each other, be grandparents or parents telling us those stories. All be watching, oh, wishing we were there, we were those kings, or we were those queens, we were those heroes. Yeah, it was great. Everybody loves a story. If you have kids or if you're around kids, you know that kids will always come and tell you, Daddy, Daddy, tell me a story. Yeah? No kid has ever come up and said, Daddy, Daddy, show me a PowerPoint. Never. It's always been, tell me a story. Even now, when you present your monthly reports, the numbers are there. What they want to hear is how those numbers got there. What's the story behind those numbers? And where are we going from there? Right? So think about how to present that story in such a way that it conveys your point. Those stories of kings and queens we heard, they weren't necessarily true. Right? I grew up reading something known as Amar Chitrakatha. I don't know if you guys remember.
Yes.
Yeah? And all those Jataka tales and animals speaking and conveying things. We know none of those stories are true. But what was the purpose of the story? To put the moral into the kid. That was the idea. And that's exactly what happens with your speech. When people listen to your speech, they hear your story, but they get your point. And that's what you are conveying to your audience. Putting that point through the story. I want to ask you one important question. Who is the hero of your story?
Struggler. The guy who is struggling.
The guy who's struggling, which is you. You are the guy who's struggling. Yeah, you're right. You are the guy who's struggling. You are the guy who experiences all those challenges. At one point in your story, you will find a cure. It could be somebody who you met, somebody who helped you. It could be a book you read, it could be a song you heard, it could be a movie you saw. It could be just an incident that happened. It could be an opportunity that just came your way. It was divine blessings, you got that opportunity. And that changed the story altogether. Let that guy be the hero. Okay? Let that turning point be the hero. Because that's what is adding value to this. You're the one who experienced all of this. But that turning point is what changed this story altogether. So bring that turning point to its maximum. There is a movie that came out a few years back, which was a turning point of some sort. Because it ended up winning an Oscar award for a song. You all remember which movie that was? Slumdog was a bit earlier, but much after that, very recently. Yeah. Slumdog indeed was another turning point, yeah. It had 2 Oscar awards for A.R. Rahman and Rasul Pokiti. This one got an Oscar award for a very funny song, which I don't think is easy for anybody else other than from India to dance to. Right? But what has RRR got to do with your speech and the turning point? In your speech, what I say, the RRR stands for when you hit your turning point and when you describe your turning point, the first part is your reaction. How did you react when that opportunity presented itself? Because opportunities keep presenting, most of the time we don't grab them. This one time, for some reason, we took that opportunity and that changed our life. What was your reaction when it happened? The next one is your realization that this was what I needed to have done, to have fixed my life or overcome that challenge. And if I keep doing this, I will not be back where I started. Alright? So your sentences that you use to describe your turning point should show that realization. And the last and foremost thing that should be done is reflection. How many times before in my life have I failed because I didn't do this? Or could I have done better had I done this? Right? So that's the RRR of your turning point. That's your reaction, your realization, and your reflection. And this is the journey that you're putting your audience through. Now, I told you earlier that you shouldn't really project yourself as too much of a hero, right? I'll give you a reason. Back when you were in school, do you remember that kid who used to sit in the front row, right under the teacher's nose, who raised their hand, me? Yeah, for every question, even before the teacher finished? 102 out of 100 in every exam, gold medal. Remember that kid? Nobody liked that kid. No, nobody liked that. My apologies if you were that kid. Nobody liked that kid. It's not because there was anything wrong with the kid. In fact, that kid was probably brilliant. It's just that nobody liked to feel inferior. Right? Nobody likes to feel inferior. So if you start your speech by saying, I was a gold medalist at this, I got the Nobel Prize for Hindi, I was awarded by the United Nations for my great driving skills, I don't know, whatever it is. If you start with all your achievements, you will lose your audience right at the beginning. I started my speech by telling how lousy I am at cooking. But then I'll show my challenge and probably at the end I'll serve you all biryani. So don't start by projecting yourself really big. The rule of the thumb is don't preach, reach your audience. Right? Don't preach, reach. If people wanted to be preached to, they would have gone to mosque or temple or church or somewhere, not come listen to a story. Right? They want to connect. They want to listen to your story, they want to connect, feel what you felt and grow with you. Right? So don't preach, preach. This story forms the bulk of what we are trying to say. But that's not enough, right? Supposing you want to give somebody a gift, do you think it's good if you just take it out of your pocket and throw it at them? Is that a good way? Yeah, maybe if it's the latest iPhone, they may catch it and take it. That's another thing. But you still want to present it in a really nice way, right? That's where the skill of your speech decoration with your alliterations, good language, descriptive language, all of that comes in the way you present your speech. How many of you all like watching movies? Yeah? I know, because some of you knew RRR and Slumdog Millionaires, obviously you love. This is a bit before that time. There used to be a movie called Mr. India. I don't know if you've heard of it. Yeah, Anil Kapoor starred in Mr. India. Remember that movie? Alright, so I have a trivia for all of you. Anil Kapoor was Mr. India, right? But he had a real character also. Do you remember that guy's name? The hero. You don't remember the hero's name? Was it what? Arun? Suresh? Kumar? I don't know. Okay, forget the hero. The villain. Do you remember the villain's name? Seriously, you don't remember the hero, but you remember the villain. My goodness. I'm in a very dangerous place to be in. But why do you remember the villain's name? Because he kept saying Mugambo Khushua. One sentence that you heard, 35 years ago, you still remember it, Mugambo Khushua. And every time you see Mugambos in your life, that sentence comes to mind, Mugambo Khushua. Yeah. That's the power that that one sentence had on you, had on everybody. That even after 35 years we remember it and we associate it with anybody who was negative in our life or anything. Every motivational speaker refers to one speech. That is, I Have a Dream by Martin Luther King Jr. Yeah? Anybody has heard that speech?
Yes.
Yeah? Who remembers the second sentence of that speech? You all heard it. Third sentence? Any sentence?
I have a dream.
I have a dream. And I'm still dreaming. That's the power of I have a dream. That few words, the 4 words is enough to encapsulate that entire thought, the entire journey behind it, and the change that it has brought. Right? That's the power of just a few words. It's called a foundation phrase, the phrase that pays. Right? This is what can make your speech memorable. This is what advertisers do, right? They give you just do it, or finger licking good, or I'm loving it, and you remember that brand just because of that few words. So think, what can be catchy about your speech? Can you encapsulate everything that you want to convey, or the emotion you're trying to convey, in one short sentence? It should not be too long, right? It has to be small, and it has to be used at the appropriate times. Do you all remember Dhananjay Hetiraji's speech? I see something in you. Yeah, so beautifully he used it, right? I see something in you, but I don't know what it is. It sounded good from him, but let me give you an example. Supposing our friend Toastmaster Hemant goes to his doctor. Okay, the doctor is looking at his X-ray and says, Mr. Hemant, I see something in you, but I don't know what it is. You would be running for your life. Everything has to be used appropriately, at the right place. Right? If you have a foundation phrase, don't use it 27 times. Use it 3 times. Right? Use it at the turning point of your story. Use it when you're sending your message, and use it right at the end when you want your audience to actually remember it. Right? So use your strong sentences at the right places. Which brings me to the closing of your speech. All this while, you told your message, you told your story, you gave all the examples that you needed. But who was it for? It was always for the audience. It was always for the audience. Did you check whether the audience was in this ride with you all along, or were you just busy with your story? You have to check. How do you know that they're still awake, that they're still paying attention to you? You do that by peppering your speech with audience interaction, maybe questions, maybe not too many questions. This is not an exam. One question. Some humor to make sure that they're reacting. Some gestures that you want them to do. Maybe raise your hand if you have done this before. These are simple ways to get audience attention to you and make sure that they're with you on this. You can make any sentence interesting. I'll give you an example. The sentence that I want to say is, I was driving through Sheikh Zayed Road, I got a flat tire. That's it. Okay? Simple, normal sentence, could happen in any story. Instead, what if I said, I was driving through Sheikh Zayed Road, bang! I got a flat tire. Which sounds better? Second one, right? Second one. But don't put a bang in every sentence you have. Yeah, then the audience will give you one bang. Used appropriately, sound words, alliterations, triads, all of these grab the audience's attention. This is known as writing for the ear. Right? The difference between reading an article or a magazine and delivering a speech is that when you read from an article, you can read it again and again until you get it. But when you're giving a speech, you have one shot. Either they get it there or it's gone, or that moment is over. So you make sure that the audience is with you with all of these things that you do. There's an old saying where I come from that catches win matches in cricket. Do you know what's the equivalent of that in a speech? Pauses. Only your pause is going to help you win that trophy. Nothing else. If you miss out many things in your speech, doesn't matter. Before your most powerful sentence, create that pause, empty the air, then showcase your most powerful sentence. Then people will get it. Right? So appropriately place your pauses. Where the emotion is there, on your emotional statements, where you're making a really powerful statement before your punchline of your joke and after the punchline of your joke. Why should you place the pause after your punchline? So typically, if your punchline works, which it should, people will clap or laugh. Will laugh. What happens when you speak? They stop laughing. But you want them to laugh, right? So you pause. Let them laugh. Okay, enjoy. Somebody asked me once, a few years back, that when we are giving a humorous speech online, how do we know if the audience are laughing or not? I told them, you don't. So you imagine that they're falling off the chairs laughing at everything that you say. You just imagine it, doesn't matter. So plant that pause, irrespective of whether it's a big hit or a small hit or whatever it is. Give that space. Which brings me back to my closing. The place to close is front and center of the stage, up close to your audience. Distance at a minimum with your audience. Because this was always for them. Your speech was your gift to your audience. And this is where you should end it. Hands probably spread out. If you can get your Shah Rukh Khan pose, very good. If not, do your best. That's all that matters. But be welcoming, always be welcoming in your gestures. This is tough, this is nice and smooth, right? So keep your palms open and have a welcoming gesture to close. Few things to note. Who here walked the first time they walked? They tried to walk. Nobody did. Yeah? Who learned to ride a bicycle the first time they did? No. Everyone fell. Your speech will also fall. Don't worry about it. Don't throw your story away just because the first time you tried it, it didn't come out as good as you expected. Rework on it, rebuild it. There's a saying which goes that great speeches are not written, they are rewritten. They are rewritten. The speech that I used for my World Championship speech, that was version 74. Version 74 of that speech. I kept recording every single time I gave it. I noted down what was good, what I needed to improve on, in my opinion. Took the feedback. Always collect feedback. Okay? Irrespective of whether you like it or not. Always collect feedback. Then you choose whether you think it works for you or not. If it doesn't, it's fine. Don't use it. What you think really adds value, use it. But make sure you collect everything. Because there could be something that you never even thought of. Right? The last, no, not the last. I suppose the timer has probably forgotten what time it is. No, it's okay. We're done, right? Okay.
It's done.
Last and final thing then. Usually when I say last, I have two things left. Don't give speeches. Share experiences. People don't learn from seminars. If they did, everybody would have been a PhD by now. Okay? People learn from experience. So share your experience. What emotions you went through, what feelings you had, how you grew or did not, or how you felt. Share that. People will connect with you. Because the purpose of telling a story is to make your story their story. So create those moments for them that they're going to remember your story and get your point. One last final thing. Last. The secret to being successful with any speech you give. Any single time that you take the stage in front of any audience in the world. You think that would be worth sharing now? Yeah? Alright, there's just one thing. Speak from your heart. Doesn't matter whether your language is good, whether your pronunciation is great. What matters is that you're delivering that story from your heart. The way that your heart is telling you this story is to be told, let that come out. Don't worry too much about your body language or your facial expressions. Those will come. Your mentors will guide you. The more times you deliver it, those will come. But tell that story exactly the way that you're supposed to tell it. Because people don't just listen with their ears, right? They feel. So speak from your heart, and I guarantee you, every speech will be effective. And if you're able to do that, next weekend, biryani at my place.
So how was it? So now you know why he was in California and we were all here. So that's the difference. So thank you DTM Hashim for giving us the tips so that we can also hope to go there one day. So with that we come to our next session, which is also very important. If project speeches are the most important thing in any meeting, the evaluation, I would say, is more important because that evaluators will give the feedback of how the speech was. So evaluation is as important as any public speech. To do the evaluation today, we have two evaluators. To evaluate the first speaker, we have Toastmaster Huzaifa. Toastmaster Huzaifa is an entrepreneur. They run a family business here in UAE. So in 2024, his biggest achievement was what I am doing today. He did his PM Modi role, so that was his biggest achievement.
Don't limit your challenges, challenge your limits. This perfectly describes today's speech by Toastmaster Abhay. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, Toastmaster Day, and dear guest. First of all, I would like to inform everyone here that TM Abhay has attempted the icebreaker. This is the second time he has attempted the icebreaker. But if we had seen him give the icebreaker that time and now, mind-blowing. It is a mind-blowing change. He was so comfortable on the stage. This is corollary of him attending Toastmaster meetings regularly. His story about how he moved from India to Dubai and how he attained a farm in the dairy farm. Then he moved on to creating ice cream and all those challenges. It just shows that he kept challenging his limits, and it perfectly described it. He shared his story very well with us. Second, you could see that he had prepared. You could see from his confidence, you can feel that he had prepared very well, and he had practiced his speech a lot of times. That's what I felt. Also, you could feel that his eye contact was much better, and he was looking around the stage and connecting with the audience much better than before. And you could also see him use his hands better. When he said things like next to face, so he used his hands to show that the change in the face. And also, obviously, the story was very well structured, and he kept the audience engaged. It was fun. It was a very fun speech. So you did very well. The speech was very well, and was an awesome speech for an icebreaker. But for your next speech, and I hope it will be very soon, there's two things I would look forward to see. First, I would be glad to see you move around the stage and use the entire stage. And I felt that there was a single tone in your speech. If you could add more vocal variety. I know you have given only one, this was just your icebreaker, but the way you have improved, I am confident that you can do this and you can incorporate these two things in your next speech. So to summarize, good confidence, better eye contact and hand movement. You are prepared, the story was very well structured, and in the next speech I would like you to move around the stage and use vocal variety. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Huzaifa. So the speaker, please note all the points so that you can bring about the improvements in your next speech. So our second evaluator doesn't require any introduction. He is one of the longest living Toastmasters within, one of the longest serving Toastmasters within UAE, founder, member of Lagoon Toastmasters, engineer by profession. So in 2024, because he's a traveler also, every year he makes sure of traveling somewhere. So this time he could visit China. So please help me welcome Toastmaster DTM MK Rajan.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. And a very special good evening to Toastmaster Rashid. Toastmaster Rashid was delivering a social speech. He was practicing that in front of the audience, that is Lagoon Toastmasters. On the outset, he accepted the certificate, which was for sustainability and climate risk. He explained that this certificate has not come out of the blue. There's so much effort behind that. In his words, 154 hours of study, 4 hours exam, and 90 hours, 90 what was it? 90 questions, yeah. Out of 90 questions, yes, 4 hours, yes, and so after all these only he got the certificate. And it was a corollary to this efforts. He clearly mentioned what the certificate was and what it was for, explained the efforts as I mentioned, and he thanked the people behind that one who helped him to achieve this success. Overall, he mentioned about the certificates, explained about the efforts, and thanked him. For making this speech better, what he can do. Number one, while accepting the certificates, you can have, you can be more happy, I think. You do not seem to be happy to receive that, in my opinion. So better he express that happiness. Second thing you mentioned about the efforts, what was it for? Shed some light on that also, so that we as audience can take that one and learn from that. What did you do to achieve that certificate? If you add these two also, your next speech will be much better and every success for that one. Wish you every success for that. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Ganesh sir. So now I will request the timer to give the time.
Toastmaster Uzaifa took 2 minutes 52 seconds and DTM K. Rajan sir took 2 minutes 32 seconds.
So both are qualified.
Qualified.
So request everyone to vote for the best evaluator. So now it's time to know how many mistakes we did in our. Okay. So one by one reports will come now. So okay, first I will request the word master to tell us how many times the word
Good
was
evening,
used
everyone.
today.
Total 8 times we used the words, and the TM Riyas and our acting president Nilesh used 2 times, and the remaining most of them are used 1 time only. Total is 8 times.
Okay, thank you. So it was a good word. So you can continue using this word for until our next meeting.
After that was.
Yeah. So now it's time to know how many times we used our and what is that called? Filler words in our speech today. So to give this report, we have a Toastmaster who gave me company in Lagoon, because ever since I joined Lagoon 10 years back, I used to always think of someone from my industry coming to Lagoon. So no one was there. So in 2024, I was happy to find one more person from my industry, which is fire protection industry, coming to Lagoon. So it is none other than Toastmaster Ashik Muhammad. So he is here to give us the R counter report.
So I am the R master, R counter for the today's meeting. And also I am taking this role as a granted. To be honest, I am a little bit brutal to this role today. So praise yourselves. Our acting president today used the word more than 5 times. Our Toastmaster of the day, he used several words: so, you know. He used for more than 15 plus times, so for more than 10 times, you know for more than 6 times. We go to the first speaker of the today's meeting, Abhay. He also used several words like like, so, but, totally more than 30 times. Okay. Then we come to our first evaluator. He managed to keep it less than 5. Then our DTM Rajan sir, he managed to keep it less than 3. One thing I have to add is our guest and our educational session speaker, he had no filler words today. Great round of applause for him. Obviously, he's a world champion, we all know. From our side, Lagoon, we have 2 other champions, Rachit sir and Rafi sir. They also have no filler words for today. I kindly request you to give a great round of applause for both of them, all of them. I will add one more thing. From this role, I have noticed one thing, that all 3 of them used to speak very slowly. As a speaker, I used to speak very fast. So I also use so many filler words. So I have learned that if you focus on saying very slowly, we can improve the number of filler words. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashik. So all my filler words were the corollary effect of not coming regularly to the Toastmaster. So now to introduce the next session, which is a grammarian report. We have a Toastmaster who is a supply chain specialist. So in 2024, what he achieved is he could maintain his weight throughout the year. So he has been doing good exercise to maintain that. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Francis.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Yes, yeah. Today I was a grammarian and I was noting down the grammatical mistakes and the good words used by each and every member and every speaker. So one of the guests used the sentence by saying, "I live in Dubai," which he could have said, "I live in Dubai." The first speaker said, "I moved to the Delhi." He could have said, "I moved to Delhi." One of the good usage of phrases was the second speaker, Toastmaster Rashid. He used the phrase "wind beneath the wings," which was very nice. And our DTM Hashim, I like many phrases. "Devoured my biryani." "From your mess comes your message." Emotions, action and steps, these are the ways we work. "Don't preach but reach." "Catches win matches," that was a good one. "Great speeches are not written but rewritten." Last, I have one of the first evaluator. "Don't limit your challenges, challenge your limit."
Thank you, Toastmaster Francisco. So please note all the grammar mistakes that you have done and you can improve. So that brings us to the next session, which is to know how we perform today. To do this role, we have a Toastmaster who is our humorous queen, super chef, celebrity, author, the list will go on. And one more to add that she is better half and bitter critic of another superstar Toastmaster, Mohammad Rafi. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Ram Sitar.
Thank you for the wonderful compliments. And I like that, better and bitter. Very good. So good evening Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
How was the meeting?
Good. Great.
How was your 24?
This was good.
Still it is going on, but how was it? So we got a meeting to evaluate 24 and he did a very wonderful role by evaluating 24. So I start from the meeting's agenda. Agenda had some mistakes. So I suggest that just avoid the mistake, at least evaluating 24. This will be the first mistakes, the greatest mistake, like president's role, welcome address or guest introduction. You can put the presidential address itself because Nilesh was the president in acting. So some silly mistakes were there, just avoid it. Now, starting from the Sergeant at Arms, he did a very energetic Sergeant at Arms role with a louder voice and the confidence was there, and he was moving with confidence and clarity was there, and started with a great chord. So it was very nice. Only my personal suggestion is time management. That is only, and avoid saying something like throw me, that should be avoided. I hope you understood. Okay. And I also included the SRP and everything in that, right? Because as six
table topics.
yeah, table, and then about putting the phone in the silent mode, it was there. Okay, I'm really sorry for that. Then President came into the stage and it was very confident. Nilesh was very, very confident and louder, and clarity was there, eye contact was there, everything was fantastic. And he said about, he had everything in a confidence spirit, but a little bit smile was missing there, otherwise it was perfect. And a great message of 20-day plan. It's very good. At least we are thinking about the resolutions for 25. So one can be for at least for the month of January, we can put 21 days plan, right? After January we can finish one by one. So that was nice. And I personally suggest that the repeated portion of about the Toastmasters can be a little bit brief, because already there is on the board and we are wasting the time, I think. Little bit. And the TMOD was a great smile, confidence as usual, and energy was little less. Otherwise everything was perfect, and the very good introduction he has collected from all the role players. And but the first portion before the speeches, you could have explained that theme in a little more uplifted way. That was a little bit missing, that I felt. And word master Nishad has given the good word called corollary, noun, and its pronunciation. Everything was very nice, and the first sentence was fabulous. Now round robin was in a good way, it was done. Now the speaker number 1, Toastmaster Abe, that was really unexpected, without a paper, without any, very nicely he did the, it doesn't look like a first speech of you. It was really great. No paper, confidence was there, louder, eye contact, everything was there. And I like your truthfulness, that sincerity and your planning. That was really great because you said about, everybody are going and buying the car, and I also wished that I can also do, and I think you forgot in the speech? No. That is why I moved to Dubai. So that was very good speech he did. And second speaker, Rashid, a winning smile was there, confidence, clarity, great gestures and vocal variety, attitude was very great. Only my personal suggestion is you could have bring your wife because you said that many things about your wife's effort behind your success, and also you could have put some slides and the certificate also we couldn't see. This is another one, so you could have shown that certificate to us. But great message you had. Now there was the filler arrangement was there by table topics by Sunita. Even there were only 2 speakers, but it was very nice topic you had given. Rafi was keeping the switch in his hand itself. He spoke very nicely, and Sanjana couldn't do it because of she's not married. So, but people of determination, you remind that was nice. Now break was very good with the very big samosas in the stomach, and I was sleeping all the time, and the sleep that is gone. Now educational session from Hashim Ali, and also the introduction of Hashim Ali by Toastmaster Rafi was very great. Now Hashim Ali is usually he is so pleasant on the stage, and many new phrases came out other than the biryani. Biryani is a usual thing, but today I heard many phrases, and that was really great. We remember that educational session because of the phrases, I think, and your attitude by creating a lighter atmosphere, because Toastmaster Ras Medley has stated that we learn best in the moments of enjoyment. That's what happened today. Give a round of applause to him. I was started speaking, then suddenly I remembered your pose. Then I thought I can keep a pose and let them give a round of applause. That lighter atmosphere, nothing serious about the contest, no questions came out of the audience because of that great attitude. Because he started with he connected with the audience, with the biryani and the chef, and connected with the audience, and humor was there, drizzling all through the session, and narrate story, and through it education will be provided. That's a good one. Then from your comes your message. Don't preach, reach your audience. Your speech is a gift to the audience. Great speeches, not written but rewritten. Don't give speeches but share your experience. That was a great one. And speak from your heart. It was really wonderful all through the session. You didn't put some slides or something, but we got something, and that was great. Even he was a mentor for my humorous speech, and I will tell you, he has given many points, and before the speech there were 5 humorous speakers, and that was in the year 2020, just before the COVID. I was speaking in the area contest. Area contest, and before me there were 5 speakers, and they were great speakers, and they're sitting with my script, I was thinking, this is my time. If I want to be the winner, I have to act now. That one moment thinking made it. I was the winner, but television contest was not there because of the COVID, and nothing was there on 2020. So thank you, Hashim, for that wonderful educational session and that great attitude. Now after that we had evaluators. That is, first evaluator was Hoseifa done very well, and only the smile was not there, and my personal suggestion is control your moving. You are continuously moving, so just control your movements on the stage. Then the second is DTM Rajan sir. He is our mentor at the time of 2009, and still we cannot beat sir in evaluations, especially in evaluations, because he's a great listener. We have to learn a lot of things from sir. He's a great listener, and I was thinking what suggestions can be given for Rashid's speech, but sir had suggestions. That's a great thing. Then our counter word master report was there, and then the our counter detailed report. It was really great, and grammarian had a very good usage of repeating that good usage of things by a grammarian. That is very good, and that's the whole thing about today's meeting. Very well done by the role players. Only timer is a first comer, so he need little bit training. That's all the, and wishing all the Lagunites and distributionists a very happy 2025.
So thank you, Toastmaster Ram Sitaram, for giving us total summary of today's meeting. So a couple of things that I forgot I would like to tell now. Actually, I forgot to tell one very important thing because what Toastmaster Mohammad Rafi has achieved, I had asked him in 2024. It's very important for me to tell because what he has done is a very noble thing. He has this year bailed out one inmate from Abu Dhabi jail, which is very, and one more inmate. The process is going on very soon. One more inmate will be out of jail. Because these are the things which it's takeaway for all of us, and it will inspire us to do more things also. And I would also I would like to thank DTM Hashim Haleem to have taken time to come here and educate us how to craft a winning speech. And for the knowledge of our Toastmaster, he has won 6 times district championship. I have put on 10 years and I have still not reached anywhere, but he has become DTM 3 times. So now, coming to the closing of the meeting, so 2024 has been for Lagoon, it has been very good, thanks to the ExCom. They are doing a wonderful job because we have had very good attendance in most of our meetings this year, and I would like to also we are all, Lagoon is always blessed to have all the senior members. They are more active than a lot of juniors. They are,
Yes.
With their presence itself, it's a boost of energy for all of us. And they coordinate so well with the ExCom to make sure that every meeting is, something to look forward to. So, with that, I would now like to call our president. And so I asked the acting president what was his achievement in 2024. So after years of planning, this year he could make it with his make it with his schoolmates to go to Uttarakhand for an adventurous trip. So, please welcome.
Good evening, one more time.
Good evening.
Good evening to Toastmasters, guests and seniors, plus education speaker DTM Hashim Haleem. Thanks for your presence and giving us guidance. I don't know about those who already missed this opportunity, because this is a platform where rather than seeing on social media or going through the YouTube video and feeling that vibes inside the room. So those who already completed level 2 in 2024, I am expecting participation from all Toastmasters, including seniors as well as like me, can participate in 2025 International Speech Contest. Thanks for the all role players. I want to call out particular names like Sajana Ram, 11th hour, he accepted the role. Plus Josefa, who is taking care of Mentimeter as well as evaluator role today. And Ashik for taking a role like a counter, and better to take this type of roles so that we can feel the combination of seniors as well as continuously we can grab the very good knowledge as well as we can reduce our stage fear. Now we are already behind time, 15 minutes delayed, so I will not take much time. I want to request DTM Hashim as well as TMOD on a stage to give awards for today's evening. So best evaluator award goes to Toastmaster Josefa. Photo. You have my camera is this back. Thank you. Best Speaker Award goes to Toastmaster Abhay.
Yeah, one group, one.
Thank you. 25th of December is Christmas, so maybe we will postpone our meeting either nearest Saturday or Sunday. We will inform in a Lagoon Toastmaster community as well as Lagoon Toastmaster Club. So officially meeting is adjourned. Thank you.